Hello, I'm Colin Campbell, and this is the Campbell Factor. As I was watching the 6 o'clock news the other night, as I do most evenings, a story came across that really took me by surprise. It was reported that in the city of Phoenix, Arizona, a 9-year-old girl had accidentally shot her gun instructor in the head at a firing range. It was later revealed that the little girl was learning to use a very powerful Uzi submachine gun. This startled me as I was thinking, who would let a little girl handle a very powerful gun? But then I realized this is the USA we are talking about. This story made me think. Even after such horrible atrocities and accidents such as this one, and the school shooting at Columbine and Newtown, Americans have possibly not learned a thing about gun control. In 2011 alone, there were over 16,000 homicides reported in the USA, with just over 11,000 of those being firearm related. That means that over 68% of homicides committed in that calendar year were related to guns. Yet here is another possibly frightful figure. 37% of households in the States report owning guns, yet there are enough registered guns for one for every man, woman, and child living in America. Minding these figures, let us revisit that grave December day in 2012 when a crazed gunman stormed into Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. On that day, the gunman was able to massacre 26 innocent people within a few minutes before a police response. Within those few fateful minutes, the gunman was able to unload over 100 rounds of ammunition while using a high-powered military-grade assault rifle. This shooting sparked a national debate at the time about gun control. Now I would like to throw my hat into the ring and propose my solution for the problem. It is simple. More guns. Well, not technically, but what I mean is that any person, be it child or adult, is allowed to own as many firearms as they want, as long as they are single-shot muskets. This would make sense for any flag-waving American diehard, as these were the only guns around when America's forefathers wrote the Constitution, which includes the amendment which allows my solution to be put into action today. The infamous Second Amendment, which gives every American the unalienable right to bear arms in an organized militia against a foreign military power. But let's not get into that last part, shall we? In fact, muskets are the guns that won Americans their freedom, which allows them to live today in that country they love so much. Now, some people may say that allowing these guns will not solve the problem of gun control, but I say, hear me out. My solution will allow these gun enthusiasts, like NRA members, to own as many guns as they want. Yes, it is true, some people would likely be murdered by using the muskets, but it would eliminate the fact of firing multiple shots in a short amount of time, which would lower the homicide rate down tremendously. This solution would still allow those who love the sport of hunting to blow the brains out of animals, which I think is just as American as apple pie and baseball. Now let us revisit the Newtown shootings from the story reported to us. We know that it only took the crazy gunman a few minutes to unload over 100 rounds of ammunition to murder 26 people before a police response. So if it took the gunman only a few minutes to do what he did, and a musket is a one-shot, 1-minute reload weapon, then we can safely say he'd only be able to murder about 5 people. So if my solution had been implemented by that time, it would have saved 20 innocent lives. No one can argue with that. Now, this is my solution, and I will press for it to be implemented as soon as possible. So don't talk to me about banning assault rifles and high-capacity magazines, like the ones used by the Sandy Hook gunmen, or the creating of a database of the mentally ill, so if they try to buy a gun they might not be able to. That would be so un-American. If a blind person is able to own a gun, why not a person with mental illness? Don't talk to me about adopting firearm policies of that of other Western countries like Canada or Britain. Also, do not talk to me about having better screening for potential gun buyers, and definitely don't talk to me about amending the Constitution to repeal the Second Amendment. So let's not implement these other solutions to gun control in the USA, because they make too much sense.